When you think about the US government and you think about foreign policy, and that leads us to Iran today. And the question is, what are we doing there? Now, the current administration has given multiple reasons. Terrible regime. We know there's oil there, nuclear weapons. We're not really sure one is more valid than the other. So then my question becomes, do we become the country that lives up to the ideals of the founding documents? If we look at the Declaration of Independence behind me, are we a country of self-determination? Are we a country where people have the right for life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness? Do we support those ideals? Do we support the Constitution? Do we support, if there is a war, do we support that Congress declares war and why the framers did that? So what I did was started talking about, let's talk about what's going on in Iran today. Now, here's my question. What if I told you that in 1953, the CIA put a plan in place to overthrow a democratically elected leader in Iran and put in their own pro-Western regime? Does that live up to the ideals of the Declaration? Does that live up to the ideals of a Constitution? In document 363, all right, so this was from Washington, D.C., from the CIA, and it was March 8th of 1954, talks about the campaign to install a pro-Western government in Iran. And this is where it gets complicated. This is the 1950s. In the 1950s, we are starting the Cold War, and it's in its very infancy. And this is about the time that Stalin has passed and Khrushchev is in the process of becoming a part of and controlling the party in the USSR. And we have to think about what's the importance of Iran. They are in what Westerners call the Middle East, not a proper term, but in Persia. And so what is in Iran that is of value? Well, that's oil, of course. So that oil must be protected. So President Eisenhower, this is kind of the beginning to make sure that we have the CIA use covert operations to control areas of the Middle East to protect the oil during that time frame. By giving money for military use, then that helps protect the region, and that becomes a part of what we know as the Eisenhower Doctrine. So in this memorandum, the fear was because the leader who was elected in Iraq was having sentiments that was pro-communism. He wasn't saying he was going to be a communist nation. He just leaned that way. And so the government decided we can't take that chance. And that's how the CIA was able to overthrow using covert mechanisms and put in the Shah of Iran that would become a very heavy-handed dictator. But this dictator was our dictator from the US standpoint. And what he did was sell us oil and become a pro-Western nation, which made him a good partner. And so this leads me back. Are we a country that relies on the founding documents as being our guide, being our compass of who we want to be as a nation? When Jefferson was writing about the consent to be governed, do we have to uphold that in other areas of the world where we feel like there are unjust elections or unjust rulers that don't fall into that? Or are we a nation that runs into the foreign policy where oil and the natural resources that are needed to drive the economic engine that is the United States, is that the most important and that's what drives us? Because I think we're at a place where the complexity is hard to balance between the two. So what are we? Are we a nation of ideals? Or are we a nation of an economy that drives our decisions? And then let me leave you with this. Had we not overthrown through CIA mechanisms the elected representative in Iran, would we be there today?